apparently. I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. Prior to us starting, and even prior to our prayer this evening, I would like to take a moment of silence, a moment of reflection to remember the two young men who lost their lives at the beginning of the school year. I think it's always important that we remember that this is a business meeting, but it is children that we're here for, and this was a devastating loss to our community, to our teachers, to our students. So I wanted to just take that minute, and then now I'd like to invite Mr. Kyle Tizard, a 7th grader at Harry Hurst Middle School, is going to lead us in prayer tonight. Kyle is a member of, it says Kyle, his name is Cade. See, Cade, I told you I was going to call you Kyle, and you would still get up and answer to it, so here we go. Cade is a member of, see, Kyle, we wanted you to get up and pray also. Cade, see, we're going to get it. Look, we're just going to laugh, and we're going to have a good night. Cade is a member of the Hurst Beta Club and Student Council and a straight-A student. Great job. He anchors the daily morning announcements at Hurst Middle School. He can come up here and do this, probably better than I am doing right now. He is the Hurst School soccer goalkeeper and is preparing to kick for the Hurst football team. He participates in robotics, and out of school, he is a competitive soccer player. Following the prayer, board member Becky Weber will lead us in the pledge. And everyone, please stand.
Dear Lord, we thank you for another safe summer and for the start of the 2026-2027 school year. We ask that you protect the halls of all SCPPS facilities. Please continue to protect our staff and students and watch over our schools. We ask for your guidance for our leaders as they make tough decisions each day. Give them wisdom, strength, and compassion as they lead our schools and serve our community. Continue to provide for our families and community members as we all work together to make this another successful school year. Help us remember that we are all stronger when we work together, and guide us in making decisions that are in the best interest of our students, staff, families, and community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So now I call the St. Charles Parish Public School Board meeting for Wednesday, August 19th, 2026 to order. Madam Secretary, please let the record show that 7 board members are in attendance, with the exception of Mr. Scott Cody. So I am standing in as president. They put in the B team this evening. Superintendent Dr. Ken Ortling is here, as well as our executive secretary, Ms. Shelley Babineau. All right. Next on the agenda looks like recognition, and we will go down there for Ms. Alexis Cannon.
Students. Harry Hurst Middle School student placed 10th in 3D design at the National Beta Convention. Oliver Henry.
So I don't imagine we need a break after the recognition, right? We can just get right into it.
Right.
All right, then the first item on the agenda is the consent agenda items, items 3A. I need a motion.
You want to read them all?
You have to announce what they
To read it.
The first agenda item is.
This one?
Consent agenda.
Oh, okay. The consent agenda items, the board will vote on the items discussed for consent at the August 17th, 2026 committee meetings, including the 2026-2027 pupil progression plan, the job descriptions revisions, personnel items, revisions to board policy and procedure, test security, first reading, policy and procedure for human trafficking, first reading, revision to policy and procedure, visitors to school buildings and grounds management, revisions to board policy, retirements, first reading, revisions to policy, use of pronouns and given names, first reading, revisions to board policy, behavioral health services and students, second reading and adoption, and the Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire for fiscal year 2026.
Madam President, I move approval.
Second.
So that's a first by Ray Gregson and a second by John Smith.
And Ms. President, or Ms. Standing President, I'd like to recognize someone in the audience this afternoon, Dr. Kevin Nanny. He's the Dean of School Climate and Student Support at Luling Elementary School. Congratulations, Dan. I know you're having a tremendous impact already. Thank you for being here this afternoon.
I heard you had a speech prepared, right? Just kidding. All right. Next up, we have, just kidding, we have to vote. Vote to approve please cast your votes to approve the consent agenda items. And that passes unanimously. Next, we have the board meeting minutes. Approve the board minutes of the following meetings: July 20th, 2026 committee meetings, July 22nd, 2026 board meeting, August 13th, 2026 risk management and insurance meeting.
Madam President, I move approval of the board meeting minutes that you just noted.
A second.
A first by Ray Gregson and a second by Art O'Quinn. And any discussion? If none, please cast your vote. I did. And that passes unanimously. All right, next up is item B, flood insurance renewal. The school board has purchased flood insurance on district-owned buildings since 2007 as required by FEMA in order to qualify for reimbursement in the event of a declared disaster. As part of the National Flood Insurance Program, St. Charles Parish Public Schools is underwritten by Wright National Flood Insurance Company through Riverlands Insurance Services. The district has 96 flood insurance policies, with 72 of them renewing in September and the remaining 24 policies renewing at a later date. The district's property insurance policy also provides $10 million in excess flood and storm surge coverage. This agenda item was reviewed at the Risk Management and Insurance Committee meeting of the board on Monday, August 17th, 2026, and is aligned with Goal D of the board's strategic action plan.
Madam President, I move that we approve the renewal of flood insurance underwritten by Wright Flood at a cost of $457,804.
Second.
So we have a first by Art O'Quinn and a second by Ray Gregson. Is there any discussion?
Just a question. The approximate cost is just for the 76 policies, right?
That's correct, Mr. Suffern, and the rest are, because each individual building has its own separate policy, some are further down, so this is an approximate.
Please cast your vote.
Actually, it's 72. I think I misspoke.
And that passes unanimously. Next, we have the Medicare Advantage Plan design options. 4C. Thank you. On August 13th, 2026, the Risk Management and Insurance Committee discussed several plan design options intended to generate additional savings while minimizing disruption to Medicare-eligible retirees. After reviewing the available options and their potential impact, the committee recommends approval of the Humana Medicare Advantage Plan Design, Option C. This agenda item was reviewed at the Risk Management and Insurance Committee meeting of the board on Monday, August 17th, 2026, and is aligned with Goal D of the board's Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move that we approve the renewal of the Humana Medicare Advantage Plan Design Option C at an approximate cost of $2,852,147.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Oakwan and a second by Mr. Gregson. Any discussion? Please cast your vote. And approved unanimously. Right, 4D. Did I say it right? 4D. 4E. See? That's why you have to sit there. 4E, revisions to policy. 4, I did it right. Okay, 4D. Upon review of Board Policy and Procedure 3.02, district debt revisions were required to clarify the provisions on compliance with debt issuance guidelines. This agenda item was approved for a first reading at the July 22nd, 2026 board meeting and is aligned with Goal D of the board's Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move to approve revisions to Board Policy and Procedure 3.02, district debt for second reading and adoption.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Weber and a second by Mr. Smith. Any discussion? If none, please cast your vote. And that passes unanimously. All right. 4E. Upon review of Board Policy 3.0201, Revenue Anticipation Notes, revisions were required to provide clarity for the provisions in compliance with updated best practice guidelines. Changes to this policy also include a name change from 3.02.01, Revenue Anticipation Notes, to 3.0201, Short-Term Debt. This agenda item was approved for a first reading at the July 22nd, 2026 board meeting and is aligned with Goal D of the board's Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move to approve revisions to Board Policy 3.02.01, Revenue Anticipation Notes, for a second reading and adoption.
Second.
A motion by Ms. Weber and a second by Mr. Suffren. Any discussion? If none, please cast your vote. And that passed unanimously. Next, we have 4F, As a result of a review of best practices for tax and bond elections and sales, policy and procedure development was required. This agenda item was approved for a first reading at the July 22nd, 2026 board meeting and is aligned with Goal D of Board Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move to approve the Board Policy and Procedure 3.02.02, Tax and Bond Elections and Sales for a second reading and adoption.
Second.
We have a first by Ms. Weber and a second by Mr. Suffern. Any discussion? Please cast your vote. And that passes unanimously. Next, we have 4G. Policy and Procedure 3.0203, Post-Issuance Tax Compliance, Second Reading and Adoption. As a result of a review of best practices for post-issuance tax compliance, policy and procedure development was required. This agenda item was approved for a first reading at the July 22nd, 2026 board meeting and is aligned with Goal D of the Board Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move to approve the Board Policy and Procedure 3.02.03, Post-Insurance Tax Compliance for a second reading and adoption.
I'll second.
A first by Ms. Weber and a second by Mr. Oakwan. Any discussion? If none, please cast your vote. And that passes unanimously. Right, next up is 4H. Upon review of Board Policy 3.0301, the board's local property tax revisions were required to clarify the provisions in compliance with statutory guidelines. This agenda item was approved for a first reading at the July 22nd, 2026 board meeting and is aligned with Goal D of the Board Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move to approve revisions to Board Policy 3.03.01, the board's local property tax for a second reading and adoption.
Second.
A first by Ms. Weber and a second by Mr. Suffern. Any discussion? Please cast your vote. And that passes unanimously. All right, so now we have 4I, resolution to approve the millage rates for the tax year 2026. The Louisiana Revised Statute 47:1705A requires an agency with taxing authority to furnish the assessor and legislative auditor with the tax rate to be applied to the assessed property values each year. The St. Charles Parish School Board, as a taxing body, must take official action to approve the levy of property tax rates. Favorable board action on the attached resolution is necessary for the millages to be levied and taxes collected. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finances and Audit Committee meeting of the board on Monday, August 17th, 2026, and is aligned with Goal D of the Board Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move approval of the millages as noted.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gregson, a second by Mr. Suffern. Any discussion?
Madam President, I just wanted to make note that the resolution to approve the millages for tax year 2026 is not an increase, is the status quo from last year. Thank you.
Just to piggyback on that, it's the same rates as last year, which have been the lowest rates that we've had in many, many years. So,
Any other discussion? If none, please cast your vote. the record.
Just give it.
Okay. All right, and we have six yeses and one no. All right, next is 4J, the approval of letters of support for Wemco Inc., doing business as Randa Logistics. Wemco Inc., doing business as Randa Logistics, will be seeking to expand foreign trade subzone 124 upon application with the Federal Trade Commission for certain inventory and inventory held for export at the Port of South Louisiana. Expansion of the foreign trade subzone will allow Wemco and Randa to increase employment, encourage future domestic capital investment, stimulate exports, and promote growth of international trade in the region. Expansion of the foreign trade subzone would allow them to be exempted from having to pay ad valorem tax on the inventory held at the site. However, they are willing to pay the applicable ad valorem tax in return for the support of the local taxing authorities for the expansion of the foreign trade subzone. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting of the board on Monday, August 17th, 2026, and is aligned with Goal C of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move to approve sending a letter of support to Wemco Inc., DBA Randa Logistics request for foreign trade subzone expansion.
Second.
We have a first by Ms. Weber, a second by Mr. Suffren. Any discussion?
Madam President, we have a representative from Randa Logistics here, Ms. Jacqueline Turner. I believe she's the broker. I forget your exact title, so if there's anything certainly you would like to say to the board, and if there are any questions, so be.
I certainly want to thank you and our Vice President, Randy Kennedy. He's out of town right now, but he sent an email and he wanted me to share it with you. He said he's sorry I cannot attend since I am out of town on business. I played the video link and noticed some of the comments comparing previous expansion approvals related to ammonia manufacturing facility causing controversy. Our situation and operation model could not be farther away from prior situations. Some comments and information: Wemco, doing business as Randa Logistics, has been in operation within the greater metro region since 1925, 101 years. And we built and moved our St. Rose location to our St. Rose location in July 2003, 23 years ago. The core facts he wants to make aware: no construction, the building footprint is not changing, no manufacturing, the facility only stores and ships accessories and apparel. No tax breaks, local ad valorem tax payments remain 100% unchanged, and our local commitment, Remco, has operated in this region since 1925. As far as public concerns, the reality at St. Rose, industrial danger, zero manufacturing. We handle retail, apparel, and accessories. Lost local tax revenue, zero tax reduction. Ad valorem property and inventory taxes will be paid on the exact same schedule. Expansion, zero physical expansion. We are working entirely within our existing facility built in 2003. And lastly, what is a foreign trade zone? A foreign trade zone is a federal administrative tool used to help American business stay competitive. It offers tax deferral, federal duties are delayed until goods leave the warehouse. duty exemption. Federal duties are waived only if the goods are shipped out of the United States, and economic growth, staying competitive, protects local jobs and boosts the regional economy. A proven, trusted model. WIMCO DBA Randa Logistics successfully operates foreign trade zone fulfillment centers in Fort Worth, Texas, and Reno, Nevada. This administrative update simply brings St. Rose location up to the same operational standards. So I thank you for your time.
Madam President, I have a couple of questions that I'd like to ask with respect to this request for approval. First of all, let me thank the president of your company for responding to our request to be present here and submitting a very thoroughly written email to explain what the operation would entail. A couple of things that you cite in your letter of support or request for support. One relates to the issue of jobs creation. What kind of jobs are we talking about? What skills and abilities will those individuals need who are seeking jobs within that organization? Have you had any discussions with the school district that has responsibility for preparing youngsters for future jobs and so forth? Or have you had any discussions with any of the local trade schools and that sort of thing with respect to that, to be sure that the young people that you will be bringing into your organization possess the knowledge, skills, and so forth that would be required? And secondly, when we talk about job creations, that's important because oftentimes organizations come into the local community with the intent of hiring local citizens for those jobs, but the jobs go to, or they bring people in to the community who have the skills and abilities, and the claim is that the local citizens don't have those skills and abilities necessary to function in those capacities. So I'd like you to respond to that.
Well, personally, I believe the company wants to hire local people from within and even promote from within. There are various job positions, warehousing as far as accounting, human resources. I'm a licensed broker, and I'm a local girl from New Orleans area. And so we prefer to handle, employ from within our region, you know, because it will be helping the growth of our area. I have not personally gone to the trade schools or any of the schools in the area, but would be willing to, and even on career day issues, call me and I would love to come and share even my steps to becoming a licensed customs broker. A lot of people aren't familiar with it, but it's a good career that young people would enjoy. So we want to encourage the local citizens to be a part of our organization.
I guess my question was, have you had any discussions with the local school boards, with any of the trade and industrial schools in the area, and as part of your pre-planning, when we got this letter asking for a letter of support from you, there was nothing there that indicated that there had been any communication with the school district or other entities within the local community. And that was a concern that I have. So on the back end, what, if I understand correctly, on the back end, after you get situated and get the approval, then you would make those, you would reach out.
Yes, I would be happy to.
But, okay. What specific, can you tell us what specific skills and abilities the young people who would fill those jobs, what kind of jobs would exist in your operation?
We have a multitude of different jobs, accounting jobs. We have human resources. We do warehousing is a large part of our facility. And we have people in my department. We do the entry documentation to get goods cleared that come into the United States. So it's a very several different positions and areas.
I guess my concern there is we have, in this school district, we're very fortunate to have what we call our satellite center. The satellite center work very closely with our business and industry community, and even to the point where they have people from their business and industrial communities to come into the satellite center to offer training and so forth for our youngsters, so that those youngsters would be sure to be prepared. And I guess maybe that's why I'm concerned about the pre-work that you guys did. While you are not expanding your physical footprint, you do intend to make a sizable investment in the community, and that investment would create jobs according to what you tell us. But on the front end, there's no attempt to work with the school district or with any of the other entities that prepare youngsters to meet those demands. And I have a serious concern about that.
Mr. Smith, can I interject real quick? We have a few other people in the audience. Ms. Turner, would you be willing to meet with our executive director of secondary schools? He's responsible for the satellite center, the high schools, the career counselors, and maybe you guys can exchange information so that moving forward, we can build that relationship together.
I certainly will.
I'm excited to hear about what you do too,
Oh,
because I
thank
don't
you.
know. And my children are in the learning stage of what do we be when we grow up. And I think
Yes.
the point here is it's very exciting to hear what else there are for our kids, but also we as a school system are preparing them adequately for what is next, whatever path that might be. So I really appreciate you attending. And then Dr. Scheck-Snyder's right behind you. Wave. We'll connect the two of you guys.
Okay.
Is there any other
So before you move off of that item, what are you requesting of me?
What am I requesting of
Yeah,
you?
are you just
Well,
telling?
you had the questions for her that what you wanted the connection to look like, so I was connecting the two of them.
So I'm trying to find out where do we go from with that?
Madam President, I'm sorry.
Are you requesting that I yield to the formation of a committee or something from the school district to meet with them and come back to the board with some information that would assist the board in making the decision whether or not to prepare a letter of support?
No, I propose that we vote to prepare the letter to support now.
Can I make a request, Madam President, that if Mr. Patrick Beard, who teaches at one of our universities as well as our economic development director, can we ask him to come up and I think he can maybe provide some other clarity, because he's he facilitates this with the Port of South Louisiana, and he's more involved deeply. If it's okay with him, and you can, I think he might be able to assist.
Was it? All right. Good evening. Sorry I couldn't be here on time. I was running from Tulane this evening. Mr. Smith, I appreciate the concerns. I was listening on the way in too, so I wasn't watching though, just listening. So I'm the Director of Economic Development for St. Charles Parish Government. You know, we're within the same team. I'm just on the parish government side. We've worked with Randa for years. They are, they're a distribution-based company. We don't have a lot of distribution-based companies in St. Charles Parish. You know, the companies we do have here, the major employers, they tend to be tied to the processing world of manufacturing, right? The heavier industry use. And a lot of our satellite center activities are naturally kind of tied towards that. They have, those types of jobs have average annual wages of like $150,000 a year. 1/3 of our entire workforce in St. Charles Parish is tied to heavy industry, manufacturing, average wages between $140,000 to $150,000. And so it would make sense that the school board would put a lot of effort into that through its satellite center and other training and resources. And the parish is, obviously we're partnered in that, and we push for as much of that as we can to see the continued growth that keep us having the second highest average annual wages in the state with $97,000 a year. Distribution center jobs, they're not as high paying. That's the reality of it when it comes to most of those workers. But we want those jobs because we want the diversification, we want the opportunity, we want everybody to have employment, and we don't want them to have to go to Jefferson Parish, we don't want them to have to go to Baton Rouge, right? We want them to have that work here. And so Randa employs several hundred people. Those employees are predominantly in that warehouse space. They've been here for 23 years. They're not doing an expansion. That is not what this project is. It's not even a project. It's a paperwork. So what they're doing is seeking a way, is my understanding, to basically to benefit themselves on the customs side. And it has no impacts on sales tax or property tax or anything else. And so I say all of that to say, the letter that we're asking for is not even a letter of support. It's a letter of no objection. And I think it's important we make that distinction because the intention is not to say you're supporting Randa in any way other than we support them as a business in this parish and we want to see them successful. And if there's a resource they can get, and the school board can be on record supporting them getting that resource, it doesn't tie into the parish whatsoever, then I think it would be a good position for the school board to be in, is to be on the side of having a letter of no objection. 5 taxing bodies have issued agreements or have either agreed to or have issued resolutions to approve the same letter that's in front of you today. That's the levy board, the hospital board, the sheriff's office, the assessor, and the parish have agreed to this letter. At first, the letter did not have the exemption waived for the inventory tax. We corrected that immediately. When that became clear, we went to the Port of South Louisiana, I should say I did, and I said, hey, we'll handle routing this in. So if there's any issue with the pre-work, I'll take credit for that issue. I should have been more clear about what their operations were, what the project was, and next time something like this happens, I'll do that. I'll admit this is the first time I've handled an FTZ. The last one we had was 3 years ago for Diamond Green Diesel, and that's a much different use than this one. And the school board at that time did vote and agreed to issue a letter of no objection to their project. And so I'll give it back to the board. Mr. Smith.
Let me thank you for your explanation, and
Yes, sir.
I certainly appreciate that. I do want you to fully understand my position as school board member representing the St. Rose area where this company is located. I came to a meeting on Monday, which is a meeting of the board committee. I got an agenda item that is 2 paragraphs. And I know nothing more than those 2 paragraphs. I don't think any, unless some other board members had privy to discussions and what have you prior to that, but I didn't.
I did not discuss it with anyone
Had
else.
none.
No.
So I
It was
do
in the
have
scoop also
concerns.
on Friday.
I do have concerns about arbitrarily offering a letter of support or a letter of no objection. I can't say that I could do that without having some information, and that's why I requested the superintendent to have some representatives from the company. I do believe that the company who was going to make this kind of investment in the community should have gotten with those authorities that have responsibility for, or that they were requesting that letter of no objection or support from. But I do understand, I guess, more than I understood prior to this meeting. Okay, thank you.
Are there any further discussion before?
Yes, Madam Chair, what is
Is your mic on?
what is the motion?
There is none yet.
Was to approve sending a letter of support for requests for foreign trade subzone expansion.
I'd like to offer a substitute motion to send a letter of no objection for WIMCO INC doing business as Randa Logistics requested for foreign trade subzone expansion. A letter, he said, it's a letter of no objection they're looking for, not a letter of support.
Is that right?
Well, he made a motion, so let's, you need to see if you have a second, or do you want to make
I think he
clarification?
wants to clarify.
I think the clarification is, and Mr. Ellis,
First of all, you need a second before you can have discussion.
yep, that's what I'm,
Is there a second? That motion fails. Is there any more discussion
so, yes, Madam President.
for the first motion?
Yes, Madam
Technically,
President. On the first
Are we
motion,
correct by referring to it as a letter of support?
so if I could, may I?
Yes. Sure.
It technically, the technical term, as Mr. Beard just pointed out, it is technically a letter of no objection. Is the technical term that is used in my understanding, in the foreign trade zone policies, if you will. So that is the technical term, but I mean, are we splitting hairs over the name? I mean, I do, he's correct in the terminology.
If I can also add comment, I'm sorry, Mr. Suffern. Just the letter itself that we had received that was requested of the school system to bring to the board. The paragraph specifically says, the undersigned St. Charles Parish Taxing Authority do not object to the application and express our support for the subzone designation, which is where the error or the misrepresentation of the letter is for the no objection. So a recommendation is that if this motion does not pass, if you would like administration to change the letter with the motion to represent no objection and remove the part about support, we certainly can, and therefore the motion would stay as is, but that's up to the board.
I move that we approve sending a letter of support to WEMCO as is.
There's a motion.
Yeah.
And a second.
Yeah.
So if there's no further discussion, please cast your vote.
And we have a little technical difficulty, so I'm going to take a verbal vote.
That's all right. All right, so we're having a technical difficulty and we need a verbal vote. We thought we got away from that August 1st, but we are back. So a roll call verbal vote. Start on this end with Mr. Suffren.
Yay.
Mr. Oakwan?
Yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Weber? Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to vote no because that is not what we're being asked to do, to submit a letter of support. We're being asked to submit a letter of no objection.
Okay.
The superintendent has indicated that he would change the verbiage to.
Well, the verbiage of the letter is still the same. It's just not the approval, the way that the motion is written, correct? So your vote is no.
That is
Mr. Ellis.
correct. That is correct. But the verbiage and what is being requested is not a letter of support, which is what the agenda item calls for.
But the letter also includes support. So it is both in the letter. The motion is not incorrect. It just isn't saying it exactly how you would like it to be said.
No, not like I would like it to be said. It's what they are requesting. That's what he verbally indicated. If I'm not correct, would you please explain that?
We have to finish this vote. So no, Mr. Ellis, please cast your vote verbally.
I vote no.
Okay. It passes. I did. I said yes. It passes. Moving forward, please direct the superintendent to follow up on this partnership with Ms. Turner and Randa. And then also, I appreciate in the future that when we write an agenda item like this, that it is clearly stated semantics do matter in regards to what we do. Is that good? Are we ready to move forward to K? 4K, accounts payable. Invoices and other financial obligations of the school district are customarily paid weekly. Request for approval of these transactions is normally made to the board monthly. The board must approve expenditures of public funds under its jurisdiction. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting of the board on Monday, August 17th, 2026, and is aligned with Goal D of the board's strategic action plan.
I move to approve the accounts payable for the month of July 2026.
A second. A second.
A first by Mr. Suffren and a second by Ms. Weber. Any discussion? If none, please cast your vote. And that item passes unanimously. And we are on to closing items. If there are any board members with a standing committee report, now is your chance. No. Superintendent report is next.
Thank you, Madam President. After months of preparation and anticipation, we successfully reopened our schools and welcomed students and families to what will be an incredible school year. This year, again, our theme is You Belong Here, a reminder that every student and every employee deserves to feel welcomed, respected, and connected. We believe the sense of belonging is essential for learning, growth, and purpose. We'll continue to embrace continuous improvement and seek new opportunities each day to enhance our work in accomplishing our mission mission of developing empathetic, involved, and productive citizens by providing every student with high-quality educational opportunities that empower them to become enthusiastic, lifelong learners. I'd like to personally thank our amazing teammates who worked diligently this summer to prepare for our opening by readying classrooms, improving facilities, and ensuring a warm and supportive, welcoming environment for all. I encourage all families and community members to stay informed throughout the school year by following the official St. Charles Parish Public Schools communication channels, including the district and school websites, social media, newsletters, and connect messages. Our public information captured some special moments from the first days of school that truly reflect this year's theme. Let's take a look at this year's video.
You know, the new school years, I think it's always cool because it's kind of a new beginning. And so you're not quite sure what to expect. You know it's going to be great, but you just like to see the different classes. You like to see the new students. When we say you belong here, it is not just a phrase. We truly, truly mean it. From every walk of life, from every ability, you come here, there's a place for you to find your way and not just to exist, but to excel. When you've got someone else that's kind of holding your hand, when you've got someone else kind of patting you on the back, giving you those pep talks, that's going to make every step along that journey a lot better.
Something I'm the most excited about this year is the district-wide 7 mindsets. And I think learning and growing is our core business. Learning is our core business, but 7 mindsets gives language for all students, no matter what the level they are, no matter what grade level they are, no matter what their life experience is. It just gives simple language to have a look at your attitude about learning, your look at your attitude about failing, a look at your attitude about who you're connected with and who you're learning and growing with. It's been a lifestyle of mine for a very long time is having an attitude of gratitude.
I am super excited about to have this opportunity to welcome our parents, students, community, teachers and administrators to the 26-27 school year. It's especially exciting for me because it also provides an opportunity for me to say farewell. My family and I wish to thank the citizens of St. Charles Parish for the opportunity to serve this school district as a school board member for the last 44 years. Continue to take advantage of the opportunity that you have here in St. Charles Parish that many children across this nation do not have.
Seeing the students come back this year is interesting. The younger ones, you see the kindergarten, first, second grade coming back, but then you see those students who have been to school before and they're holding a little sister, little brother's hand. It's kind of cute, brings me back to when my kids were younger. But it just also shows the leadership these young kids have. Every person in this district takes pride in their job. Everyone brings that pride every day to ensure that every student feels like they belong here in St. Charles Parish Public Schools.
The new year brings more chances to grow and to explore. Every day is an opportunity to learn. Embrace the challenges with enthusiasm and celebrate your successes. It is truly amazing. Beyond the classroom, there is something for each and every student. Band, choir, dance team, robotics, athletics, and many more opportunities. I encourage you to take advantage of these opportunities. You belong here. You are welcomed, respected, valued, and connected. Welcome back.
I would just like to say welcome back, everybody. We're glad you're here. We have a safe place for our students to try to learn. Your experience in schools here, by the time you graduate, you have a foundation. But the earlier you develop good learning habits, it's going to pay off. The sooner it's going to pay off for you.
There's no doubt you'll always belong here. There'll always be someone I can promise you that will guarantee you of that sense of belonging, that sense of knowing that we care and we love. And we always need to make sure that we include everyone. We are of a school system that we want everyone to know that you are important and that you are going to excel. Excellence is what we expect.
It's a great day to be back at school. I'm here at Mimosa Park Elementary, a school that's 65 years old, which means many generations of students have walked the halls of Mimosa, taught by many amazing teachers, also making many friends that lasted a lifetime. This year, the first grade class will be the Hornville High class of 2038. Seems like a long way away, but actually it's going to fly by. Hope everyone has a great school year and welcome back. You belong here. To all of our amazing stakeholders, the time is now. Let's give 100% and make this school year one of the best ever.
Welcome to the 2026-27 school year. We're excited to welcome our students and families back for another incredible year in St. Charles Parish Public Schools. Throughout the summer, we've been hard at work preparing classrooms and creating welcoming environments where every student and every employee feels valued, supported, and ready to thrive the first moment they arrive. As a new school year begins, we look forward to watching our students continue their educational journey, building on the knowledge, skills, and confidence they developed along the way. We've already seen the excitement, the curiosity, and so many of our schools creating special moments for our students that generate the energy that we know they need to even achieve at greater heights in academics, athletics, and the arts. In St. Charles Parish Public Schools, we believe every student has limitless potential when students know they are supported, encouraged, and believed in. There's no telling what they can accomplish. That's why our dedicated educators and staff remain committed to providing the opportunity, guidance, and encouragement every child deserves. We're honored to serve this community. Thank you for trusting us to be a part of your child's educational journey. And here's to an amazing 2026-27 school year.
Welcome back!
That's pretty good. So thank you, Public Information Department. Thank you, Board, for certainly participating. Your many years of service for those board members that are leaving us. It's certainly been a privilege, and it's going to be a phenomenal year. But certainly thank the Public Information Department, Mr. Mason Dolphin, for creating that video. And you just see the spirit and pride that we all have in St. Charles Parish Public Schools. So thank you, and Madam President, that concludes my report.
Well, I have to delegate my normal duties over to Mr.
Madam
Oakman.
President, I move adjournment.
Second.
I don't have to.